Team. I'd have to check YouTube. Call out. We lost someone
Somewhere in
again.
that range.
That was an accident. That was an accident. That was an accident.
Okay. I hope everybody that I have not gotten word from has had a wonderful day. Who would like to get us in with a recap for some inspiration?
You know who.
I was about to say I'm gonna make someone else do it.
Oliver immediately mutes. I love you so much, Oliver.
Oh, I do not remember. My main problem is that I never remember where things started.
My main problem was that I don't remember last session.
My game's that forgetful, huh? I see. It's fine. I'm just gonna.
No.
I'm just gonna.
No.
Oh no!
Oh no. Not this bit.
Getting in with everybody.
You know what? It's Craig's favorite.
I do actually have notes for last session.
The joke was that Craig loves to leave the call. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler.
I thought
I
it was
would-
like a comment about like the mechanics of Craig whenever we leave chat, but no, yeah, that's gold. That's great.
Tyler, I really fucking appreciate it. Thank you.
Well,
I
do
was
you
gonna
want to go in
laugh,
the
but it
kitchen?
hurts on the inside because it's true. No longer depend on Craig, and that hurts. Okay. Anyway,
Got a little too real first.
off the
Sorry.
chains already.
Sorry.
If I remember about right, we returned to the shore from the Wayward Pool, and then were immediately hunted down by a killer, who told us to give the horn or he'd kill us, and then Arlen egged him on. So we beat the ever living shit out of him and then interrogated him. We learned his name is Zarek, and he is a servant or a paid killer, um, in service to the League. Which described some very interesting figures. I think there was 4 people, as I remember that there was like a woman, an old mage, a fellow with a winged helmet, who is just the muscle, but the I don't know if he's the old man. I wrote no, yeah, bearded old man. Okay, Kellic is their leader,
Yep.
and there was some images of
S-
Kellic.
Speaking of, I
Ooh,
forget that I have these. This
ooh,
is our friend Kellic
is
that you
he a
saw.
gnome?
No,
Okay,
just
his
looks like it.
proportions made him look a little small.
It's just a short king.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, Kellic covets the staff of a separate old mage man who was speaking with Zybilna at some point, and
What the fuck?
it would appear.
that is
Ooh,
that is the second old man.
hello,
That's the
Saruman.
staff he wants.
All right, so we've got two wizards. Kellic wants the other man's staff. The other man was speaking with Zybilna. As of right now, Kellic, the League, and Zybilna are in Zybilna's palace. Excuse
Tried to
you.
mute him.
Didn't make it in time.
No, the worst part is I did, but I hit my mute and deafen button and then unmuted myself.
Oh boy.
um,
I love it here.
yeah. Then we killed Carrick because he was determined to acquire a unicorn horn by any means necessary, and it is very important that the other unicorn here does not die. Um, so he's executed, hunted down, and then we found a circle of dryads. Oh, sorry. First, Will showed us his plan, which is very smart and very well calculated, and I'm very excited to execute it. Um, where we are going to feign a deal with Scabatha in order to distract her long enough for Will to save the kids. At which point, we will assess the threat level of Scabatha and may or may not try to kill her. Uh, that part's definitely up in the air. And on our way to the market, we met a bunch of dryads who were very sick. They had upon them the same magic that Arlen's ghost leg has, which leads us to believe that it is mostly hag cursey. They offered us some seeds to protect us on our escape. And then my last note for the session is don't forget Chucklehead. So that's it. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Two
Don't
details I'd like to
forget.
add. One from last session and one from previous session, but I think it may be important enough. And that is from last session, Will warned us that if the key on Nightshade's back slows down or stops, that all hell's going to break loose. And then just in Nightshade related data, we do know that whatever the first thing she sees in the morning, she is blind to for the rest of the day.
Yes.
Oh my god, I gotta get Chucklehead off of my screen. Jesus Christ.
Why? What's wrong with him?
He's a little
He's,
hung.
he's freaking me out.
He's
I know.
wonderful.
His eyes are very intense.
Yeah.
My note is don't forget Clapperclaw.
That's also a very good note.
That is an incredibly good note. Give me one moment because once again I have failed to put his token on the screen or on the map, and that is why I will always forget about him.
It's
Note
fine.
for
NPCs
everyone.
are invulnerable when they're not on the map.
Yeah, he's not really supposed to do much other than,
He lives in my heart.
you know,
He occupies
be
space there.
it's, I'm sad that there is no official art of Clapperclaw with his actual head. They just
That
have
is
him.
sad.
They just have the gourd. Okay. You have made your way across the Root Bridge down into the Goblin Market. There is no light except that which pours out of a pair of um, storefront window. You can't see my ping because I'm on the light layer.
We're also on a different map.
You also can't see that because I have that. I don't know why you have made your way down into the night market. No, into the Goblin Market. As I said last time, whatever magic permeates this place, the twilight sky above you does not cast the usual glow that it does. And here, this is the darkest place you have been since your arrival in Prismere that was outside. Obviously, if you've been into a cave, then, the only light that is currently present is from a pair of storefront windows here, and I should probably shift ping there and here. A very cursory glance shows a number of toys and other small objects on shelves, uh, basically advertised like a, oh God, what's that street in New York that does the Christmas display every year? Doesn't matter. The goblins in their stalls the goblins in their stalls are holding up bags of candied treats of various kinds, offering them out for trade. And Chucklehead, who greeted you all and then had a brief conversation with what was apparently himself, has approached you all with his arms out in a gesture of greeting and welcome to the Goblin Market. What can we get you today?
I believe we're mostly browsing. Browsing?
Yes, I am. Yes, that is correct. We are mostly browsing, although I am always in the market for a new and interesting tobacco.
No tobacco here. The stalls. This is a place for kids. Kids don't smoke. It's bad for you. It'll kill you. The toys that are made in the market here are available. Just let us know if there's anything in the window that catches your fancy, or we have 3 market stalls, 3 tents full of goodies, all kinds of things you might want. We got Jolly Beetles, we got jelly worms, we got anything that you might want.
Arlen's eyes have lit up. Okay. I have to ask though.
No, you can't eat my head.
Are these jelly bellies ethically sourced?
Can I eat your head?
I just said you can't eat my head. That I don't know. Jolly Beetles and
Those two.
jelly worms. Ethically sourced? Yeah, I mean, we dig in the ground. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that would be sweet, but I'll take as many of both of those as, and he starts like digging through his pockets. As 1 gold will get me. I only have 1 gold. That's incredible.
What happened to all your? Well, you know what?
I don't think I ever had any money.
Hang on, let me
How do
check.
I have 100 gold then?
That's a good question.
I have. Checking my money count.
Do you take barters?
Of course we do. Reciprocity
Okay.
and all of that. For
I've
a
got a
gold,
piece of charcoal.
I can offer you. Meg, what can we offer him? One of the goblins in one of the closest stalls, when you mentioned a gold piece, had immediately begun to take a wooden scoop and go through a couple tubs of not wicker baskets full of candy, and had sort of sh- scooped like about a half or a three quarters of a scoop of each one into separate individual bags, and was holding them out. When you mention the charcoal, he runs back into his into his little stall, and picks up a few um, a few lollipops, puts them into a third bag, and holds them out for you.
Hmm. Actually, this charcoal is sentimental. Can I interest you in a candle instead?
Yeah, sure.
Don't you need that candle?
I have plenty of candles.
Alan,
Not my good candle. It's just a candle.
Alan, if you are interested in more candy, perhaps I could just give you some more coin to purchase more candy.
Oh, but that's not in the spirit of things.
I understand.
You
But
should
in the
buy your own
spirit of the
candy.
market.
This is about what I have and how I can barter my things for what I want, you know?
Very well.
Y'all got to do your thing.
I'm gonna click my tongue and then cast detect magic.
There is no magic anywhere on the candy or the stalls or anything like that. Chucklehead does display he does radiate with necromantic magic, similar again in signature to that of Arlen or the Dryads. There is almost certainly a hag curse upon poor Chucklehead.
Nah, really?
What?
This fucked up guy?
Shocker, I know.
I think a Maxism is going to come out, and I'm going to acquire some gummy worms. Jelly worms.
Uh, the goblin is, or one of the many goblins, is quite happy to trade you a small stash of jellied worms for a gold piece.
Okay.
And what might I be able to obtain for this? And Banner will hold out a brass orb etched with strange runes.
Chucklehead, he walks up to examine it. You can really at this, like, as he gets closer, the smell of toffee and slightly fermented apple really becomes strong, and he holds out a hand. Just, may I take a look? I don't I
Certainly.
don't I don't recognize any of the runes, but this is very well made, and this is I know you can't read the runes. What are you talking about? No, yeah, no, I know it's just no, I know you can't read it. You don't have eyes. What do you Anyway, I think what we can do for you here is got something real maybe we got something real special for this. This is amazing. I don't know what this is, but it's amazing. Look at it. It's beautiful. The goblin that has been dealing with you all rushes back into the stall with a shrug, and begins frantically pouring through some more wicker baskets, and eventually pulls out a small wooden case, flips the leather catch on the front, and pulls out a small, probably like a 10-15 ounce bottle of some glowing pink liquid, and holds it out. And Chucklehead says, "Oh, the O2, that's our last bottle of that. All right, well, if you'll take it, This is a very fine, juice made from some of the the mushrooms that are grown in the gardens here. This is our last bottle. It was bottled what 2-3 years ago. It's good stuff.
Mm. Eh,
It's not alcoholic. Like I said, this place is for kids. Remember, kids, don't drink till you're 21.
a a rare mushroom juice, you say? But
Mhm, mhm.
how could I resist? I'll turn to Arlen. Your advice is proven most fortuitous. Look at this excellent find that I am able to acquire based on offering that which I had and not merely coin. I thank you. Um, Chucklehead,
Mhm.
I noticed that when you were examining the orb, you at one point you were engaged in quite a vibrant discussion, but it did not seem that that discussion was with me. Do you mind if I ask who you were discussing the merits of the orb with?
He looks around very cautiously, and the other goblins all suddenly find themselves very busy in their market tents. All right, nobody wants to talk about it, but there's a worm that lives in my head. I was talking to the worm. Yeah,
Uh,
look, I know your name is Phil, but no one's gonna believe a worm's name is Phil.
well, are you and Phil on friendly terms? Is this a symbiotic relationship?
I mean, yes. Um, it look, it's complicated. None of the others want to talk about it. Phil is slowly eating my head from the inside. But, it's not so bad. Before Phil, I was a real monster. Real horrible. Now with Phil, like
Mm.
I look, I help I before Phil, I was just another goblin running a stall, running all the stalls really. This is my market. But, now because of Phil, I help take care of the kids. Things are better now. And if
Well, why is Phil eating your head?
because he's a worm. I mean, Phil's got to eat. No, I know Phil. I don't blame you.
Phil likes the kids?
No, Phil doesn't really care. Phil's a worm.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with the kids?
No, I mean before I didn't really care. Now now I care about stuff. It's better this way.
Why does Phil make you care?
I I don't know. I don't know how that happened. It just it happened. One day I'm out doing my rounds, stocking the stalls. Phil crawls into my head, and suddenly I'm like, oh man, little little kid over there that's stuck in the window. Like that kid just fell. I should probably help.
Well,
Admirable worm.
Horrible.
I said admirable, sorry.
Oh.
No.
uh, okay. Well, we got the bottle of mushroom juice. We got one bag of jelly worms. We got two bags of jelly worms. One for you, one for you, and we got a bag of the uh, the Jolly Beetles, and we got a couple the Ant Pops. Anything else? Anything for you? He's pointing at Court.
Uh, got anything that suits me? He grins.
he gets real close, sort of peers all around. You at this
He like
range.
lifts up his arms for inspection. And just
At
is
this
grinning the whole
range,
time.
you can actually kind of see parts of his head kind of wiggling, like there's something moving around underneath. Um,
Phil, is that you?
and after a second, he goes, "Hey, Meg, we got any? Do 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 we got any? Do we got any of the nougat ants left? Get, yeah, okay. Give me a bag of those.
What's your price?
What are you trading? There are no set prices. This is Prismir.
Uh, he takes
You
out a
you
gold
want to
piece.
try one before you decide?
Nope, I trust you.
All right, all right. Gold piece it is. We can. Oh yeah. This would be great. Yeah, this would be great. We can make some more of that thread. Mishka can have a little more sewing session. It'll be good. It'll be good. And
Yeah.
he drops the coins into a small leather pouch on his belt, and then the candle that you held out, Arlen, goes into a small case that he tucks into his belt. The orb he just pockets. All right. Anything else? Anything else we can get you? Anything else you need while you're here?
Well, please, Emlock.
No, I chatter all incessantly. Continue.
Well, we rumor has it that this is also the place to come if we would like to get an appointment to see Granny Nightshade.
Oh, you want to talk to the boss? Why?
Well, we have some news uh, about her sister, and it is the type of news that should definitely be delivered personally. And we figured that if there are any questions or concerns, she would be able to bring it up with us directly.
Um, yeah, okay. All right.
And
I can.
I must be honest, I'm also sort of hoping for a game of chess.
Okay, I don't know if she plays or anything, but yeah, take you to the. I could take you to her. Um, she keeps a sitting room for guests. We'll have to go back across the bridge if you don't mind following me.
Is that all right with all of you? Are we prepared to do this now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, Hemlock sort of points towards this window and says, I don't know if this is uh prying, but there's somebody. I think I see someone." And he squints and looks through his glass a few times. "Eh, who happens to be in? Who is that?" And he just points again towards the window.
Um, I'm assuming that's one of the workers. You can see through the window. It is fairly shadowed inside, and the figures are somewhat indistinct. The windows are a little frosted, but you can definitely see people moving around inside. They're small. None of them seem to be full adult human size, and the Chucklehead, the goblin, sort of. There we go. I just did it. Chucklehead does that. Yeah, those are the well, that's the workshop where the toys are made. Um, let's just go talk to to the proprietor, if you won't mind following me.
Yeah, yes, yes. I'm assuming then that like this token is not an adult person.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Um, with a nod to the other, with a nod to the goblins who immediately begin restocking their stalls and uh, cleaning cleaning up and reorganizing. Uh, Chucklehead the goblin, yeah, Chucklehead uh, leads you back across the root bridge that you came across, along the riverbed to the west a little bit, and then across a second root bridge. And Harlan, I'm just going to grab you. Across the second root bridge, which seems a little sturdier than the what? The. Okay, clearly I grabbed the wrong thing. Um, Across another root bridge and into a small sitting room. Uh, Clapperclaw, as you are making your way across this other bridge, grows more and more nervous as you approach this other side of the tree. I don't know if I can face her again. Um, do you do you want me to? I can just wait out here. Should I go in? What do you?
Wait outside, Clapperclaw. It'll be all right.
Okay, good, no problem. I'll just I'll leave the message for. I mean, yeah, I'll just be out here on the bridge. He tucks himself into one of the gnarls of the bridge and just waits there. And after a time, uh, Chucklehead leads you into a small parlor. There is a um there is a small table set around four chairs, set around with four chairs set around it, and a tea set in the middle. You can see in the back of the room a large box painted in bright red and green with a crank handle on one side. This box is about 3 feet on a side. It's that basically I think makes it almost as tall as some of you. Um, he leads you into this room and gestures to the chairs. Um, if you want to make yourselves comfortable, not that one, and he points to the chair closest to the far side. Uh, that's that's where that's where Nightshade tends to sit while she has these deals. Um, you sure this is what you want to do? You sure you want to make you want to make her mad or sad or upset? I mean, I can't imagine
I
you're here with
wanna
good news.
I wanna say in Goblin to him, I'll say, "You'll be perfectly fine."
His little toffee apple eyes go wide a little bit, and he returns in Goblin. Yeah, it's not me I'm worried about. Nightshade, she can get real mad. Uh, well, anyway,
It'll be okay, though. He smiles.
look, do me a favor. If she says anything about a Mishka, make sure she's okay. I don't. She's one of the workers here
Is this still in Goblin?
in Goblin. Yes.
I nod.
All right. Uh, let me give her a yell. and he crosses to the other side of the room and uh, opens the door just barely enough to stick his giant toffee apple head through. Uh, pardon me, Miss Nightshade, you have guests. Yeah, they're in the parlor. They said they have news about your sister. Okay, yeah. There is the sound of something being thrown against the wall. Uh, Something shattering on the ground, and he slams the door shut. Yeah, she'll be just a minute. And then crosses back over, and with a brief nod to Clapperclaw on the bridge, disappears back into the relative darkness. A few minutes later, unless there is anything before I do that, is there anything anyone wants to do or say before or while you all are alone in this room?
I think I'm going to maintain concentration on detect magic for now. Might as well.
I'm gonna mumble. Is this the plan? I don't remember the plan. Is this a plan? Is this all good?
The plan is to keep her here for a while. If news of her sister is sufficient, good. If making a deal is sufficient, then we will approach that.
Banner is going to put his crate on the ground and climb up on top of it and sit crisscross applesauce with one hand on each knee. So his brain and brawn rings are on full display.
I'm
Hot.
gonna make sure I'm a little bit behind him. Also, yeah, what Max said.
Hemlock, there is I just typed, but there is conjuration magic on that large box.
Thank you.
Anything for Arlen?
Tyler got tied up in a phone call unexpectedly.
Oh,
Whoa.
we can wait. This is kind of unimportant.
Okay.
What's he on the phone about?
I think it's with his dad. Oh, hey.
Whoa.
Good timing. I just got off the phone. Yeah, my dad called, and I feel really bad, like ignoring his call. But
Yeah, no, you
Aw.
should
but no, yeah,
take
I
his
was
call.
I was also roughly paying attention.
Aw.
Arlen has eaten a lot of candy and does not have anything to
Oh,
contribute.
have you?
What about detect?
Oh dear.
Oh no. What about detect thoughts though?
Are you asking me about that?
Yeah, shouldn't you can cast it at will?
Oh, I have a freaky hat. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
thought I
actually,
gave that to someone else.
yeah, because I was going to ask, do you have the Helm of Telepathy or the Hat of Disguise? Because you have received both of those.
I thought I gave the Helm of Telepathy to Hemlock.
You did. I forgot that. I will actually, with that in mind, I'm swapping concentrations.
Okay.
I know it's only a minute, but
But yes, I have definitely eaten a few of each candy.
Arlen, do you have like an instant antacid spell for your stomach?
He actually does.
Awesome.
He has the charm from his parents.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So... Nope. Okay. Arlen, as you are munching on your jelly beetles, the rest of you, as you are walking, and Arlen is munching on these, Arlen, everyone else seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger,
Oh.
but all of you have stayed the same size. Arlen, you have been shrunk as though by the enlarge reduce spell. So you are currently size tiny.
where did Arlen go?
Weird.
Oh my god, Tyler.
So
Oh,
Arlen is 1.5 feet tall now. Um,
oh my. Well, cheese just got smaller.
what are you talking about? Y'all got really big.
We did
Hmm.
not.
Yeah, tomato, tomato.
It does only last for a minute, so by the time Chucklehead leaves, you are back to your original size. Um, as you are sitting in the parlor, are you sitting or are you? Well, I mean, I know Banner is sitting. Um,
Hemlock is sitting very formally.
Yeah, I'm sitting slightly behind Banner.
Arlen will also sit down.
um, after there are chairs that you have been pointed to. Um, after a few moments, after Chucklehead leaves, the door in the far wall opens, and a figure comes through. A an older looking woman with very looks almost like a doll brought to life. Her skin is the sort of grayish brown of old wood. Her expression is virtually painted on, and her clothes are the sort of ruffled and over um there it is, I'm getting there.
Sorry, I just wanted to remind you just in
I
case there
appreciate that.
was.
Her clothes are the ruffled and sort of over exaggerated finery you would expect to see on a doll. And protruding from her back is a large golden key that turns in steady rhythm. Arlen, as this figure comes through the door, the ticking at the back of your mind that has been omnipresent and sort of quieted every now and then by, for instance, the Wayward Pool, or when Hemlock had cast protection from evil on you. It suddenly becomes loud. It sounds like you are in a room full of clocks, or no, more appropriately, it sounds like you are standing behind the face of a giant clock tower. And when she speaks, you almost the sound of her voice, which to the rest of you just sounds like nails on a chalkboard or somebody breaking entire handfuls of twigs and crushing leaves. Her voice is almost drowned out by the ticking. And she walks over to the table and sits down in the chair that is facing the way that you all came from. She gestures to the other chairs and to the tea warmed on that is still steaming with warmth on the table. Well, sit down, children. Let's have some tea. We can't do any sort of business until we are, well, properly acquainted. Her her gaze goes across each of you. Um, it lingers just for a second longer on you, Arlen, but when she sees Banner, her face lights up in possibly one of the it's not a look of you wouldn't call it happiness or glee. I just realized I left her token on the GM there.
Hmm.
It is almost a look of greed. as she looks at Banner and just cackles for a second. And then just, it's been a long time since I've seen one of you. A very long time. Oh, please, please tell me you've brought me this to trade.
N- nope, not quite. Nope. Though I'm sure he has brought himself for a a bit of a friendly game while during our conversations.
Certainly, if I can interest you in a game of chess, I would find that most agreeable.
He rubs her chin very thoughtfully, reaches into one of the pockets of her gown, and pulls out a leather tobacco case. She begins to stuff a pipe. Well, I know you then. You must be Banner, the one that talks. I've seen so many of your kind, but none of them have spoken. Hmm. Harold did tell me you might be coming.
I put a hand on Banner's shoulder.
I-
But like I do it as casually as I possibly can.
I tip my face. Well, it is wonderful that you have met Harold and that he has spoken of me. Is he still here by any chance?
No, unfortunately not. He's gone to see my sister Endelyn.
Hmm. Well, perhaps we could pass a little time with a game of chess. Unless, of course, you would be more interested in a more physical diversion. And Banner will tap his hand that has brawn across it, tap his fingers against his knee.
No, thank you. Not on either. I understand you're here with news for me.
Yes. Um, we have just traveled from hither.
Have you now? And
Indeed.
how is my dear beloved sister Pavlorna?
Well, when last we spoke with her, she was full of spite and vitriol, particularly, unfortunately for you, and then was killed
Oh dear.
rather dramatically.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, how did that happen?
As far as we understand it, some travelers came in and insisted upon seeing her and took her by surprise when she was speaking with Charm.
Hmm. Yes. Poor Bavlorna. She was never really the brightest one of us. She never knew to keep an eye out.
I,
As I understand it, she might very well have. It
well,
was.
your tone just sounded very, very pointed just now. Are you don't?
Take them.
Oh,
Uh, those of you who are seated, the chairs in which you are seated
Banner,
shift
were you in a
forms.
chair?
and a sort of very sticky tentacle comes out of the chairs on which you are seated and begins to wrap itself around you. Skabatha sips her tea very, very uh, um, congenially, and looks specifically to you, Hemlock. I will assume you didn't really understand the significance of the little thing that you found and carried with you. Brought it out. Let me follow you. I would like my eye back at some point, please.
It is yours. You should have it if I am allowed to retrieve it. And he like tries to pull his arms from the armrest.
Oh, no, 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 no. I will not make the same mistake my sister did. I'm just going to leave you there. Just for my well-being, you understand, I hope. Now, what is it you're actually here for? Because from what I understand, from what you told, oh, Nib, you're here to kill me. That can't be right after all. You are guests in my home here in Loomlarch. That would break the rule of hospitality. We can't have that.
Naturally, we wouldn't be so forward as to break such rules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yet, poor Bavlorna, rotting away in her whatever she called that place. She was. I am the oldest. You understand? It's one of my little sisters that you have slain. We can't have that.
Um, I are which of us were in chairs? I was just wanted to clear that up.
My understanding was that Arlen and Hemlock were in chairs. You were seated behind Banner, who had plunked down
Yes.
his own. Okay. Yep. Who had plunked down his box and was seated on top of that.
So, am I correct? That means Hemlock and Arlen are trapped in their seats, and
Correct.
Court and I are not.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay.
Other than being stuck to your chairs, the two of you, you have not. They have not hurt you. They are not trying to squeeze you, or you're not being digested or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
You're just
I'm
stuck.
I am trying to. I would like to emphasize that Hemlock is speaking very slowly. Um. And above board, I am trying just because I know roleplay stuff kind of paces things out weird. I'm buying time. I'm
Okay.
yeah.
Well, can we interest you in gifts? He starts juggling the pincushions he got from Bavlorna's place.
Arlen is going to kind of just like he's been focused very still. Whenever the arms like the chair grabbed him, he didn't react very much. He's very focused. I would like to just in my head try to tell myself a little story and roll on my table and
Okay.
hope to hell I get a 3, a 4, or a 5. It's a D8. I always forget what my die is. It's a D8. 3, 4, 5. Come on. Fuck. tail number 4 would let me and everyone else teleport.
If
Court,
we
you
are to remain here, would you not humor me and tell me, besides being your own possession taken from you, what is so precious about your eye that was taken?
real quick. Court, as you are juggling the two pin cushions, which you realize while you are juggling, one of these is definitely meant is God, I actually have to double check this. I'm pretty sure.
Take your time.
Under his breath, Arlen just starts kind of like whispering a little story to himself.
Mhm.
And given like, letting time pass, taking it slow, letting conversation happen, he's gonna try to roll again.
One of these, yeah, definitely one of the pin cushions that you are juggling. As you juggle it, you realize that it has the same bark, like colored skin. It has the same hat. Even has a tiny little key. This is definitely a representation of Scabatha with whom you are communicating.
Oh.
And she eyes you juggling the two the two pin cushions, and instead of her eyes following the objects, she just stares right at you. And that same sort of grin that she had on her face when she saw Banner the first time begins to once again slowly pull on the corners of her mouth in almost like a death rictus grin as you are juggling. I can take all kinds of things. Maybe. Maybe you do something for me, and I will happily let you go. I will even so graciously
Oh.
forgive the murder of my sister. Maybe you trade me something like your little friend here did. And she, with a creaking and the sound of branches like breaking and falling from a tree, turns, tilts her head, and very slowly turns to look at Arlen.
I don't remember trading nothing.
Your little foot, dearie. Your little foot.
I know what you were talking about.
Went into my carnival, didn't you? Broke in. Such a naughty boy.
I have a way of going where I'm not supposed to. And Arlen teleports out of his chair over here, and Hemlock, Banner, and Court, you can all teleport as well, within 30 feet.
What a
You
fucking
can't.
line!
I can't.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Carry on. I was doing something else. Carry on.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, oh shit, is it like anti-teleport mimics or something? So yeah, tail number 4, tail of the runaway. Target can immediately use its reaction to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. When the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it. up to my charisma modifier to immediately use the same reaction.
All right. Just going to go in order real quick. Arlen, you have already teleported. Banner, do you want to teleport?
Oh boy. Um. Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. I do. I would like to teleport behind her.
Court.
And okay, great.
Sorry, we're going to drop into initiative after this.
Yep.
I just want to resolve the teleport, and then
Absolutely.
we'll go ahead
Perfect.
and drop into
Perfect.
initiative. Court, would you like to teleport?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. And Hemlock.
Yeah, please. I'm actually gonna go here.
Okay. Arlen, if you want to shift yourself, I am going to move the mimics back to where they actually are. And Court also, if similarly, if you would like to adjust yourself, because the chairs are actually the mimics, and they wonder why there's trust issues in D&D. Just to be clear, like
Bag.
these branches, these branches here are up. That they represent
okay.
part of the arch, so the room surface, the floor is clear. You can stand under or on them with no issues.
Okay.
That's what the dotted
Okay.
line sort of represents. This is a giant hole in the trunk of the tree.
I see. I see. I see.
Okay. We are going to go to initiative.
Did I hear it said that someone understood that this isn't actually Skabatha?
It 100% is Skabatha Nightshade.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a representation or something.
No, that's my pincushion.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Inspiration.
Okay.
Okay. Thank Christ. I have
Oh
had
God.
I've had killer bad initiative rolls pretty regularly in this game.
Okay.
And
Oh boy.
oh, I didn't select the token for them. Uh, add turn. Well, that's not. Oh, I had her token selected. All right. Court.
Yeah. Um. Can I? Oh. Ooh, I did think I'd be first in the initiative. Ooh.
You've got sneak attack for this first attack.
Yes. Um. Uh, I am going to. I am going to. I'm going to fly up to her and try to grapple her.
Okay. Make an athletics check. Seemingly completely unperturbed, you have grappled her. She is calmly holding her pipe in one hand, and you have latched onto her arms.
Figure this is fair game. Y- Hospitality, you restrain us, we restrain her.
Bonus action or any other movement?
That is it.
Hemlock.
As his form uh, rebuilds from teleporting, he takes a step beside Arlen, um, and his spell book flips open and pages begin to whirl, and from it a dark light begins to glow, and a hexing brand will land on Scabatha. I'm going to cast Hex first. That's not how it works. You know the spell. We are going to go with strength based disadvantage.
Okay.
And then I'll attack her twice. Make sure I've got Hex checked. Yes, I do. Eldritch Blast once, twice. Oh!
Those will both hit.
And as a reminder, the hex damage is necrotic if it happens that she likes necrotic damage. But that
Okay,
is
that
it.
is what, 25.
Yay! That is it for my turn.
On her turn, um, hmm. She looks over at I can't decide, so we're just gonna let fate. She looks over at you, Arlen. Our deal was done when I took your foot, but I wonder how much I can. I wonder what I can make out of the rest of you. Please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this a spell?
It is a spell.
I would very much like to cause the brand on her to sear with the flick of my wand and cast counterspell.
Make a spellcasting check.
Yeah, dog. Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna use inspiration. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's gotta happen. It's supposed to
Sometimes it
happen.
happens. Sometimes it happens. You're just a little guy. I don't want you to get hurt.
Arlen has the most like somber, serious face you've ever seen on him. I'm gonna use an inspiration. I'll take it. I'll take it.
The magic settles around you, Arlen, and once again, everything around you seems to grow. You have been polymorphed into a rabbit.
Interesting. Incredible.
Um, that seems like it should.
Oh, I need
Break.
to roll a bardic inspiration die right quick, because I never rolled for how many temp hit points I have.
Oh, okay.
Not that it matters while I'm a rabbit. All right,
Nice.
that's 8 plus bard level, so that's 14 temporary HP.
Do the temporary HP carry over in your rabbit form?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I'm gonna go with yes because your other statistics change, but temp hit points
Yeah,
is
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like how, like, if you're concentrating on an effect of a spell, like if a druid cast a spell that gave them temp HP and then they wild shaped,
yeah.
that seems okay. That seems fair. I don't want to lose these temp hit points. They give me 10 feet of speed and a +1 to my AC while I have it. So
And that is it for Scabatha for now. The chairs. This is first off, other the third chair that you all had been directed to grows the same sort of pseudopods that the other two chairs had. And they are going to um they are going to lash out with their tentacles. Oh boy, they don't have a great amount of reach. How fast? They're not fast, but they can move. So one will move down and will go for you, Hemlock, with a couple pseudopods. That's a nat one to start. Okay, starting strong. 21 to hit.
Okay.
You take 5 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled by the pseudopod, or by the mimic.
Just grappled, right?
Just grappled, yes. As
Kick ass. Okay.
opposed to
Restrained.
oh, okay. No, you are just grappled, and then it will attempt to chomp down on you. So sorry. That is 9 piercing damage and 10 acid damage. That was a critical hit.
Yeah, dog. Okay. Sorry. It's fine.
Sorry. Let's see what we can do for Court now. Court, the one next to you that you no, that's the one that Arlen had been sitting in actually. Lashes out with a couple pseudopods. Does a 21? Yes, a 21 hits, I believe. Although I don't remember if you have shield or not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. That is 7 bludgeoning damage. And any other 9 bludgeoning damage from a second hit. And you are grappled by this mimic as well. And the final chair sort of wobbles on its 4 little stubby wooden legs over to you, Banner,
Mm-hmm.
and will try to pound on you. A 15 to hit.
Nope.
An 8 is also not going to do it. An 11. Okay. It just sort of batters against your brass body. There is the hollow ringing noise as it smacks you, but it just does not do anything important. You're up.
Okay. Um. First things first. Let's take 2 swipes at Granny Nightshade, and with the first, I just ask, where's
Okay.
Arlen?
The crit
So,
will obviously hit, but the 15 will miss.
okay.
Dunks into her.
Fantastic.
And did you
Um,
mean Arlen when you said where's Arlen?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I just saw, I see a rabbit now on the floor, but I don't know where Arlen is.
Punch that concentration out of him.
I'm hoping.
Afraid you are still a rabbit.
Mhm.
Okay. I would like to action surge. And I am going to.
I believe something happens when you action surge, right?
Well, I don't know if it will this time,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because I'm actually casting Summon Fae, so that's going to be the end of this charm.
You have the charm when you action surge to get the action, so
Okay, great. So that means allies can move up to half their speed without providing opportunity attacks. And I believe the change was they need to use their reaction to do that.
correct. Unfortunately, I believe Court is grappled, as
Mhm.
is Hemlock.
Get out of there, Arlen.
See, as a hare, I have a 20-foot speed, so I will bounce 10 feet over this way.
And I'd just like
You get
to.
some temporary hit points banner. And I did not
Oh.
think to actually.
Whatever token you want to use, it doesn't really make a difference.
Why is my folder is empty? Oh gosh.
That's no good.
Okay, well that's fine because I can just go to the compendium. Go. I should be able to just drag this out since it's compendium. It's not a pretty token.
I'm just going to
Share
slap it down right
adventure.
there, if that helps at all.
Ping for me again. Actually, let me
Yep.
just put this in your journal, and you can.
Okay, fantastic.
Banners journal, save changes. It's not. It doesn't even have a picture. It just says Face Spirits. See if you can control that
Yep,
token.
I see it. It does not look like I can. I can.
Okay, let me try this again.
Yep.
How about now?
No, it's not letting me drag
Okay.
it.
It should be in your journal if you can just try dragging it on.
Yeah, it's not letting me select it that way. Like every time I click on it, it just opens the sheet for it, but I can't drag it. As soon as I hit it with the mouse, it opens the sheet.
Why are you doing this to me, Roll20? Why are you like this? Oh, I put it in your journal, but I didn't give you control over it. I'm just bad at Roll20. Try now.
Yeah.
Not with that one. Try dragging.
Oh, not with that one. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, there. There we go.
Hey, okay, perfect.
Awesome. And oh yeah, there's a whole character sheet and everything. Fantastic. And I am just going to instruct it. Take care of those fucking chairs. Oh, and I've still got a bonus action. which I would like to use Tavern Brawler to also try and grapple Granny Nightshade.
Okay. She now has disadvantage on this because of the... Oh no, did the hex fall?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a straight roll. Showing a little more concern than she did when Court came up and grappled her, she tries to push you away, but you are able to grapple her.
Fantastic.
Arlen, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna use my movement to get under the table and my bonus action to hide.
Okay.
That's it.
I am
Quick
grappled.
question.
Uh-huh.
Where in initiative should the Fey Spirit go?
It will go immediately after you. I'm sorry.
Got it.
Let me add that into the thing.
So it should have gotten a turn.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
Undo that.
The hare's dex is +3. So my stealth is a 19.
Fey Spirit.
Okay, let me... Couple things. Oh. All right. I'm just gonna take 2 attacks at this guy. I don't know that this attack value is correct, but we'll find out. No, there's
It
no
is-
attack modifier on it. So I think that's a 19 if I...
Yeah, if I remember our discussion
Yeah.
correctly. I can fix that real quick. I went into the wrong thing.
Fantastic.
There we go. Okay.
So that one's a 19, and then the second one
That will
is a
hit.
23.
Those will both hit. Level. It's a 3rd level spell. Let me just take that out so that it... Oh boy. I should have had this. Sorry, everybody.
No
We're
worries.
all
Okay.
good, sir. Yeah.
I have corrected the damage rolls for the next time, but that is those totals plus an additional 6. So it's that 12, 21, 27. Oof. Okay. I'm sorry. Court.
I'm grappled, right?
Correct.
Um,
The chair behind you has you grappled.
and it takes an action um to try and break the grapple.
It is an action to attempt to escape if you can, and I say this because you have the ability. If you can get yourself away from it, even though your speed is 0, for instance, by teleporting, that automatically breaks the grapple as well.
Oh, I forgot I could do that.
So yeah, like a bonus action or something. Also, if you are less interested in escaping, you could, like, you don't have disadvantage, so you could like steady aim and attack and get like sneak attack and stuff
Mhm.
without having to leave. But if you steady aim, you can't teleport.
Um,
I thought it just set your speed to 0.
It does, but like Misty Step is a bonus action and Steady Aim is a bonus action.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Good call. Good call.
hmm, no, I will in fact bonus action Misty Step over here.
Okay.
And then I'd like to um for for my for my action I want to use Sir Talavar's sword to stab this little pincushion I have just to see if it does anything.
You do know that they are not magic. Hemlock has told you that before.
Oh shit, never mind. If I know that, I'm not doing that. I thought okay.
I'm so sad that they're not. Yeah, I'm so
Okay.
sad they're not actually anything magical.
They're not little okay. Then I'm just gonna
They're just some passive aggressive hag stuff.
shoot at um this one who just attacked me. We'll just sweet.
That will hit.
Oh, cool.
I have the wrong mimic sheet up. It still hits. So, 10 damage. Okay.
That's it.
Hemlock, you are grappled by this mimic, by this chair.
Yeah. His eyes will blaze as a circle draws itself under the feet of this mimic, and I am creating a black bonfire underneath it. Oh, uncheck hex.
Dexterity save. Ooh, that's not going to cut it. Okay. Fire damage.
That'll do for now, I think.
Okay. Oh boy, Scabatha. Okay. The hag that you have grappled, Banner turns to peer at you. Your friend is still here. Don't worry. I'll be enjoying him for dinner soon. And she is going to twist in your grip. She's not trying to escape, but she is going to claw at you.
Hmm.
21.
21 will hit.
That is 21 poison damage, which I think you
Ouch.
are resistant to as a Warforged.
That's a real interesting question. Let me find out.
She will make another attack either way, but she will rake her other claws across your metal frame to no effect.
Okay. I'm still trying to find out if I'm resistant to poison, but I will figure that out and apply the damage appropriately.
Okay. That will bring up the mimics. Sheet out over here since I had the wrong sheet up before. All right, we will start with the one on you, Hemlock, and it will continue to try to batter you with its little fleshy tentacles. It
Oh, fuck, I forgot my bonus action at the beginning of the turn. Oh, okay, we're good.
Hang in there.
Uh-huh.
the what did I do here? Okay, that is a 9, so that will definitely not do anything.
It's pretty damn close.
That is that one. The one near you, Banner, is going to launch out with its little pods. Does an 18 hit?
18 does not hit.
Okay. How about a 19?
19 hits.
5 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled by this mimic,
Okay.
by this chair.
And I assume that's just straight bludgeoning damage.
Correct.
So my heavy armor master will reduce that by 3.
Correct.
Excellent.
15. This one is going to close in on the Fey Spirit and try to batter it. I believe an 18 will hit for 9 bludgeoning damage
Okay.
on your Fey. Will be a total of 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Then it is your turn.
All right. First things first. 2 points of damage to Granny Nightshade for being grappled at the start of the turn.
And yes, you are resistant to poison damage thanks
Yeah.
to your constructed resilience feat. So it's only 10
Yep.
points of poison damage from her claw.
Yep. Fantastic. And
Concentration check.
oh yeah, concentration check on that, and then 2 more swings, and with each swing, where's Arlen?
Once again, the first one will hit, the second one will miss.
I
She
think
does-
Arlen's the one with dispel magic, so gotta break it.
So that is 9 bludgeoning damage. Bonus action?
The bonus action will just be to call out to Hemlock. Hang in there. The black fire is terrifying, but an excellent idea. And as a result of that, you can use, I think it's 2 hit dice. Yeah, that's my modifier. It does take your reaction, but you can use 2 hit dice to restore hit points.
I think I need that. Okay. Thank you.
So that is Banner's turn. The Fey creature is going to. Oh, I accidentally closed its sheet. Let's open that up again. It's just gonna bonus action Misty Step over to here, just so it will get advantage on its first attack.
Okay.
And it's attacking this guy. Is this the one that's still in the fire?
Yes, that is the one that is. Oh, yeah. When does it
Oh,
take
yeah.
that additional damage? On its turn or
At
your
the
turn?
end of its turn.
Okay.
So let me just boop. Oh God.
And
Yes, that is still the one that is in the fire and has Hemlock grappled.
okay. And just out of curiosity, how's it looking?
It's bloodied.
Okay.
The fabric is falling out of the. Well, I was going to say the stuffing is falling out of the chair, but it's
Mhm.
not actually a chair, so there's no stuffing.
Okay.
The 25 will hit.
Okay. Well, he has advantage on the first attack,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's the first
Yeah, yeah.
attack. And does a 16 hit?
16, it does. So that is 2 hits.
Fantastic.
And that has all the correct modifiers now. Should be d6 plus 6 plus d6. Yep.
There we go.
24.
Fantastic. That is the face ferret's turn.
How does the face spirit kill a chair?
It an extremely ornate and elaborate fencing style against this chair. With lots of flourishes and lots of glee. It takes a little bow as it dissolves into this black fire.
All right, Arlen.
Arlen's gonna hop out and hop up on the table and start nibbling on cookies if there are any cookies up there.
There are, in fact, little tea cakes. They are a little stale, but still reasonably good. You, you, you could. Okay. Bert.
You could what? I can't bite. The hair doesn't have a bite attack.
No, I was just going to say there's the fire. I mean, hurting yourself.
It's on fire.
Yeah, but I'd have to take shit. What is it? Like the hair has 1 hit point, so I have to take 15 points of damage.
Oh God, I forgot the 10 hit points.
Yeah, the 10 hit points are a real problem. That's why I asked the question.
I didn't realize
awesome.
I didn't realize I was making it worse by giving them to you. I'm quite happy to not do that.
Oh no, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean this is where we are. We just gotta break her concentration.
It is your turn.
Hi,
How you doing?
doing great. I little little present in the chat for you.
Oh boy. Okay. Dexterity saving throws. This is a 20-foot cube, so that will also include both mimics and the Fey spirit, it looks like.
Mhm.
Or is it creatures you can see? No, it's all creatures. So
Yeah.
for
Can you
And
see
the
my
rabbit.
cute little outline?
I cannot.
Where's my? Let me. Can you see my cute little outline that I'm drawing with the
Do
ruler?
you
Yeah,
do you have
I
it
saw it.
hidden? Okay.
No,
I
I
just
saw
saw
it this time. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll get the enemies and me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will get Arlen.
Hey, that's a 20. So on my dex save.
Where is
You're
the drawing tool?
fine.
There it is. Draw shape.
Plus, if you get hit, like we're that much closer to having you back in the fight.
Right.
That? Or did
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. I think if I do this, I can still change its color. Nope, sure can't. Oh well. Okay.
It's bright cyan for everyone to know.
Oops. Which is and these guys. This guy is glowing. Right. Cyan, you said.
Mhm.
Okay, the others unfortunately are able to avoid the worst of the fairy fire. However, it also is now shedding light.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't make a deck save for the Face Spirit.
That'll do it. Okay. Anything else? Bonus action? Movement?
That is it.
Okay. Hemlock.
Now we're gonna go ghost. And
You got your
get
temporary hit
some
points.
get some life back in me. Well, that's an exaggeration. Life. Oh, sweet. Okay.
A little undeath.
A little bit of undeath. Um. As spectral form takes place, the runic circle under the first mimic fades and then burns under Scabatha.
Okay. Is a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, just kind of want to bully that those con saves if I can.
Not enough, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, that's okay. As long as she stays there, she's gonna have to keep making those saves. And I'm gonna move back a little bit, and that will be my turn.
Okay. On her turn, not really wanting to be stuck standing on a burning brand, and also being not kind of done with this. I didn't claw my way back from the Shadowfell just to die here. And Banner, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
She is casting a spell. Let me back that up.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Wait, do you have a slot left?
I have one more. So I have sorcerer levels. So I've
Oh,
got
got it.
yeah, I have sneaky first level slots.
Okay. Make another charisma check then.
Okay. Oh, come on. Jesus. I don't trust my inspiration.
I'll give you an inspiration to retry that since I don't trust my wisdom saves.
I trust your inspiration more than mine.
The magic begins to settle on you, Arlen. Not Arlen, on you, Banner. Arlen, you do become yourself again because she does try to cast another
Yeah,
concentration
I was
spell.
gonna I was gonna ask.
She does try to cast another concentration spell, and the magic does try to settle on you, Banner, but it is then the energy is dissipated by Hemlock's own sort of dark black.
The rune under like the circle underneath her like burns upwards, clouding her vision and yeah, obstructs her ability to cast.
He turns and snarls at you, Hemlock. The key in her back has completely, despite everything until now, the key has slowed down. It is at this point that it stops, and she stares daggers at you. But that is her turn, and then the mimics will go. The one near you, Banner, will continue its assault.
Mm-hmm.
I can find that sheet. To no effect whatsoever.
Lovely.
15 and a 14 will both miss. This one next to you, seeing you return to your form, Arlen, no longer a hare. That's a natural 1, but an 18.
An 18 does hit, but I'm gonna cast Silvery Barbs and make them re-roll, and give myself advantage on my next attack.
Okay. That is still a hit for 6 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
All right.
Last chair is dead. I'm just going to move it off the board here. Banner.
Oh, there's Arlen. And this time I'm going to take one swing.
Okay.
And with actually, I don't know that it would work this way. So before you add that damage, I'd like to try and pull the key from her back. So I don't know if that's a full action, if that's an attack action. I don't. However you want to work that, that's fine.
Go ahead and make another unarmed attack
Okay.
with advantage on that one because you're going for the key. That will hit.
Okay, should I roll damage for that?
Yeah, just roll normal damage. You have her grappled, and you latch you reach around her and latch a hand onto the key and try to pull and pull and pull. It does not seem like it is going to come out. Whatever magic is going on, whatever thing is happening, she does roar in pain as you do this. It you have done some wrestling, you've done some grappling fighting. It feels akin to trying to pull somebody's arm off or pull a limb off.
Gotcha. That actually reminds me. That's the grappling damage initially. And that is going to be Banner's turn.
Face Spirit.
The Face Spirit will Misty Step over here. Scratch that. The Misty Step will, or the Face Spirit will Misty Step over there and take 2 swings. The first one at advantage.
That will hit. And that will hit. That is 20.
And they're just
Alrighty.
dancing around, happy as can be to be in a sword fight.
Arlen, you're up.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. I will use my bonus action to roll on my table.
Okay.
5. I will take the Tale of the Traveler again. That's number 6, and I will give that to Hemlock. And you have 5 plus 6 is 11 temporary hit points. Wait, you already have temporary hit points.
Well, I have 10, so I'll take the 11.
Okay, you have 11, and as long as you have those, you have plus 10 to your speed and a plus 1 to your AC.
Oh, thank God, up from a 12 to a 13.
I was hoping for one of those that were attack focused, but I will just pull out my rapier and stab this chair. No.
Okay.
Fuck the chair. I'm stabbing the hag.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give myself advantage on this. Well, I have to have advantage. I don't get to choose. Oh boy. So 11. I'm gonna use inspiration
Okay.
and roll a normal roll. No. Okay. I need to stop trying to attack. I'm not good at it.
Anything else? Any movement or anything?
I can't. I'm
Oh, right,
grappled on.
grappled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
That's it. The end.
Okay. Court.
I guess I could have used the teleport. That was number 4, but it was like, well, oh well.
Oliver, you are muted.
I've been talking this whole time.
We've
Um,
all been there.
I guess I don't. If I don't need sneak attack for advantage on against this lit up chair, right?
Correct. You will get sneak attack because you have advantage because it is both lit up and also because it is next to banner. Either one of those would apply.
You
Oh,
don't need to aim.
steady
Yeah.
aim. That's what I meant. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot that guy. Is banner? What's banner condition at the moment?
Banner is grappled by that thing and is grappling Granny Nightshade.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
a chain
That's what
bear
I-
hug going on.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. Okay, I'm just gonna shoot the one that's grappling.
You do have advantage, so you
I do have
acknowledge that.
advantage. Are you?
Take my inspiration, dude.
Okay.
There
Oh,
you
thank
go.
God.
There
That
we
will
go.
definitely hit.
That's on this guy.
Yep.
Thank you, Max.
I think we just need to pass inspirations around. I think that's how this is gonna have to go.
You all can't use your own for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the crossbow bolt thunks into the mimic, which gives a weird sort of screech. Anything else? Bonus action or movement?
That is all.
You're up, Hemlock.
Okay. I'm assuming Nightshade passed the Fairy Fire DC.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. She's still in a fire, and I'm happy about that. We're just gonna remind myself that I spent that spell slot, and then Eldritch Blast that bitch.
25 will hit.
Okay.
11 force. Okay. As much as a creature seemingly made from wood and bark and rags can be said to be bloodied, she is bloodied.
Okay, that's it. Oh, damn it! I wanted to cast a different. Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're done.
Okay.
Max,
Do I
you want to roll
learn?
that bonfire damage?
Oh, yeah. She gets it at the end of
Oh,
her
at
turn.
the
but-
end. Yeah.
Well, actually, let me double check. That's the wrong fucking. Um.
Or ends its
Oh.
turn there. Yeah.
Yeah, ends
Yeah.
its turn. Yep.
So we'll see if she moves.
Do I want to learn my lesson from Bavlorna? Do I want to learn my lesson from Bavlorna? Because last time I was like, nah, she can make it another round, and then she definitely didn't. He looks around at all of you. Oh, fuck it, we're gonna risk it. Okay. With an almost feral snarl, just eyes, even though they are they look like painted dots on ping pong balls. Somehow they seem to just burn with a rage. She is going to claw out at Banner and at Arlen. At Banner, that is a 21.
That'll hit.
That is 32 poison damage reduced to 16 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And to Arlen, that is a 13 to hit.
That misses. Thanks to the tail of the traveler. Otherwise, it would have hit.
I thought you gave that to Max.
I gave it to myself before I got the teleport. Also, that's what gave me the temp HP, the 14.
Okay. I thought you could only have one effect from that table up at a time.
I can only hold one in my head at one at a time, but I can, once I've given it, they just have it. Tales from Bond.
Rolling on the spirit table immediately ends the effect of the previous tale. I remember that from Roderick.
Ah. Okay, well I didn't know that.
That's fine.
So then that does hit me, which means that I will
Would,
cast.
well, okay. Go ahead. I was gonna say, would you have reused it on Hemlock, knowing that it would have cost it on you?
I never would have had it on the first place because whenever I teleported everyone, that would have ended it on me.
Oh, okay, I got the order of
Yeah.
operations wrong here.
Yeah. So that will hit. So I will use Silvery Barbs again and make her re-roll.
That will miss.
Okay,
Nicely
and then I will
done.
give advantage this time to Banner.
Okay.
That's it.
She
Well, it's my
goes
turn.
to claw at you, and what does Silvery Barbs look like for Arlen?
Oh, let's see. It's a verbal component only. He basically is just like taunting her. That was a good hit. That was a solid hit. But like, try again. Try again.
Okay.
Should just roll her deck save
Oh yeah.
for 4 fire damage.
No, she wiggles. She's wiggly. What am I doing? Mimics. Okay. The chairs. The one in the fairy fire that is near you, Banner, will continue trying to release its master from you. A 22
22 will hit.
for 11 bludgeoning.
Okay, so that ends up being 8.
And another
Fantastic.
11 bludgeoning. So 8.
Okay.
And the other one will attack both Arlen and the Face Spirit. That is an 11 against Arlen, so that will miss. And a 23 on the Face Spirit for 11 bludgeoning, and it is grappled.
Okay.
And then it is your turn.
Okay. And do I have advantage just on the first attack, Tyler?
Yeah.
Great. Where's Harold?
Those will both hit. For 17.
And I will use a bonus action. I will second wind.
Mhm.
So that is 12 hit points.
Nice.
Yes. That's it for me.
Yep.
The Fey Spirit is going to Misty Step out of this grapple
Okay.
and show up over here with advantage on their first attack, trying to stab Granny Nightshade.
All right.
Oh
That'll
my
do it.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right. And there's a second one.
Oh, Jesus. That's 10, 23, 33, 36.
And that's it for the Fey Spirit.
Arlen, your turn.
Okay, I am not gonna roll on my spirit table now that I know how that works. Finally, I remember the like can only hold one in my mind at the same time, but I conveniently forgot the rest of it. Oops.
It's
Um, and I will. Do I get to pick on that one? No, that's each creature in the area. I'm gonna cast. This mimic here is holding me.
yes.
The other mimic isn't holding anyone though.
It is holding banner.
Okay, gotcha. If I were to use like dissonant whispers and make them run, they'd probably try to carry the person. I will cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the one that is holding me.
It is perhaps the most peculiar sight you have ever seen as the chair cushion, the seat cushion where you would sit down, just begins to move up and down, sort of like Cherry from
Was just thinking.
Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Fucking kidding me?
Its pseudopods retract from both the face. Well, no, it's not on the face spirit anymore, but from its pseudopods retract, wrap around the middle of the chair, and it is technically immune to prone, but it is four on the floor, laughing in the most peculiar sound you have heard in some time. That
Ooh,
chair
all right.
is incapacitated.
I will stand up and on the table, and I will give a bardic inspiration to Court. Just a standard regular bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And that's it.
No movement? Okay.
Nope.
Court, it is your turn.
I'm probably just gonna do the same thing.
The mimic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. Yep.
You have advantage. The 16 will hit, but you might as well roll again, see if you get a crit. Still a hit. Still with sneak attack.
Yes.
For 18
Ow.
points of damage. There is weird purple ooze coming out of this chair from the multiple puncture marks. It is definitely bloodied. Anything else? Bonus action or movement?
That is all.
Hemlock.
Miles is singing "Row, row, row your boat."
Oh,
I'm going to drop concentration on Bonfire to hex her again.
okay.
And then check the box. And 1, 2.
Those will hit.
Oh. Oh!
How do you want to do it?
Yes! The
I gotta stop thinking I can survive a round. I'm sorry. Please continue.
I was like, I was silently begging, like, please, one more round. I can get her in one fucking round, please. Oh god, the fire just burns upwards, and the bolts of black energy slam into her, and each makes a visible searing impact into her flesh or into her hard, like woody exterior, and she just burns, and then stops moving.
There is the final sound of her laughter as as her wooden body slumps to the ground, and Granny Nightshade is no more. Arlen is once again no more. Arlen, the ticking sound finally stops. The echoing sound of a clock is no more. There is a faint a very the last of the two mimics will return to their state as chairs. Their master is dead. Their role in protecting her is done. Well, I mean, their attempt at protecting her is done. We will go ahead and drop out of combat, and this seems like a good place for a break. It is 10 past, so we will be back at 25 past.
All right.
All right. Oh shit.
Of Granny Nightshade lies on the ground in front of you. The um, the chairs have returned to their inert state and returned to their locations, other than the one that is lying in pieces on the floor of the parlor. The tea set has been overturned and smashed. The tea cakes have been consumed, and there's definitely little rabbit bites on one of the remaining cakes. As you watch, a small black beetle crawls its way rather from Nightshade's mouth, and it crawls up onto what is left of one cheek and does the thing that you see beetles do, where they flare out their wings and lift their shell.
I want to grab that with a mage hand. I don't want that thing to get away. I'm scared.
Okay. Uh, you can certainly grab that.
Just gonna keep it held in a mage hand.
Okay. Very timidly, Clapperclaw, the construct, with his stag helm and uh, lobster claws, peers into the room from out on the edge of the bridge, or the edge of the doorway leading out to the bridge. My, oh my God, she's really gone. You defeated her.
Told you we would. Dust myself off as my body reforms into a mortal form.
The Fey spirit, which has appeared similar to Sir Talavar himself. This spirit has appeared. It is a fairy dragon similar to him, but in a much a much brighter red coloring. Holds up his little rapier in salute to you, Banner, gives a bow, and then sort of
Thanks for
dissolves.
telling for me.
It nods, salutes one more time, and vanishes.
Banner is going to put a foot on Granny Nightshade's back and see if, now that she is deceased, the key is any easier to remove, or if it still feels like it's part of her body.
Make a strength check.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Oh no.
There is it is still as stuck in there as it was when you were grappling her. There is the sound of sinew tearing, and almost the sounds of branches breaking, and it's probably just best to leave it there.
Gotcha.
Banner just is like, let's not rip this all the way
Right.
up.
If I took more out of me than I thought, I should leave this alone. Well, the good news is the getaway gang should have all the time they need.
Precisely. I was beginning to worry that we maybe were not going to adequately keep her attention. But, well, that worked out quite nicely, I think. Also explains the chair business.
Yes, now,
Mind
if,
you, no one ever gave them the signal.
Oh my god! I forgot we had to do that. Oh no. That was Arlen. Arlen had to send the sending, huh?
It's only been a very short amount of
It-
time.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
like 20, 30 seconds.
I'll
Well,
go
that's
ahead
not
and
true.
cast
Like, we had a
sending.
conversation for a little while.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast sending now. Coast is clear. Do it. Actually, well, Nightshade's dead. But go, go, go.
Mission received on mission. Wait, what? Holy shit! Shoot! Holy shoot! There is the sound all of a sudden. It's somewhat faint. It's clearly outside and a decent distance away, but you can suddenly hear the sound of a high pitched scream. Not like a child. This is a very inhuman sound. And it lasts for a few moments, and then you can hear the sound of doors being tossed open. Like, you can hear the sound of doors banging open, being forced open rapidly, and the retreating of the screaming stops.
Should we go? He's like walking towards the weird chest, but then like stops and just says, "Should we go see what that was first?"
I presume it is the getaway gang executing the plan.
Right, but just to be sure that they're not in danger.
Very well. Banner will pick up his crate and start walking in the direction of the screaming. And the
Oh,
door's
hello.
swinging open.
Yo, Ted.
Yo,
What am I looking at over here, huh?
where did you go?
I stepped outside, and I can see these friends.
These friends. Ping for
Uh,
me.
Goats
Shift
in a
ping.
pin. That looks like it's just a pin.
Goats and boars, I think.
Yep. So, if we, I've lost where I put the handout for the map. For Will's rescue plan. That is part of the garden.
Okay.
Those are those are animals that are kept by Scabatha.
Okay.
Oh my god, I forgot how insane
see
your vision distance is.
Everything, Ted. I see very far. This is my limit back here.
Yes, you can see in the distance and somewhat below you by a good 20 or so feet. Pens of animals, a garden full of strange plants in a number of bright colors. There does not appear to be within your distance, within your vision rather, anything moving around other than the animals in their pens. They are very the pigs are making a considerable ruckus as they have clearly been startled by whatever the screaming was. The goats seem like they don't give a shit because they're goats.
Okay. I kind of want to roll a perception or something to get an indicator if maybe something's like running. If if I understand what happened appropriately, that screaming was probably the scarecrows, and I just want to know if that's like bringing attention from other areas, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Um, combining what you have heard with what you know of the plan, the whole reason that the three members of the getaway gang were to purposefully set off the scarecrows was to pull some of the other guards out of Loom Lurch and into the gardens so that Will could sneak in further up,
Hmm.
further onto the other side of Loom Lurch. So presumably the screams was the getaway gang triggering the scarecrows, and the loud crashing noises after that were the doors being thrown open by whatever guards you
Hmm.
uh, who then went out into the garden to chase after the getaway gang, who would have already have started running the moment they set off the scarecrows.
Okay. Okay. And I think the question that I should have asked is I'm assuming I did not hear children screaming.
Correct. Like I said, the
Okay.
screaming was not the children. It was a very inhuman sound,
Okay,
like
perfect. Just thank you.
a high pitched
Okay.
shriek rather than.
In that case, I'm going to trust them, and I'm gonna go back in and try to figure out what the fuck this box is.
Do I have a handout for this?
On the map, it looks like it's a Jack in the Box.
That is, in fact, precisely what it looks like. It is, like I said, it's about 3 feet to a side. The it is a green painted box with a crank protruding on one side. The scenes carved and painted into each of the faces of the cube depicts smiling children playing out in a garden with various animals, rabbits, you know, with little bunnies, with puppies, with it. It's very happy scenes on the outside of the box.
This box has conjuration magic on it. Should we try opening it?
I mean, how else are we going to figure out what's inside of it?
My mage hand is currently indisposed, so I'll just touch the box and turn the crank.
You crank the handle for about 10 seconds or so, and the sort of tinny metal sound of a children's lullaby being played by the crank, uh, not entirely dissimilar to the music you heard in the Witchlight Carnival being played out of the calliope, the big pipe organ that uh, oh no. Um, Okay, sorry. It's after after about 10 seconds of cranking it, the tune begins to come to its end. And as expected, um, at the conclusion of the tune, the lid pops open. A a large, not large, small, a small green wormling pops out of the box in a puff of smoke, a puff of acrid green smoke that Hemlock burns your nostrils and makes your eyes water a little bit.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
It looks over and sees the already sort of pungent remains of Granny Nightshade and shrieks out in Draconic. Does anybody speak Draconic? I will take that as a no.
I speak all languages. He said, ah.
It shrieks something in Draconic, and then it is going to immediately exhale a noxious cloud of green gas. I need a Constitution saving throw from Arlen and Banner. I'm sorry, Hemlock.
I'm assuming against poison.
Correct.
Okay.
Um, that will pass for Hemlock. Arlen, you will fail.
Oh, sorry, it's advantage against being poisoned, but it's still the 16, so.
Okay, it will still pass. Okay. Why this sheet does not let me actually roll that. That is 18 poison damage for you, Arlen, so it'll be 9. And then I think you have resistance
Mhm.
to poison damage as well, so that will be reduced to 4 for. And then it is your turn, Arlen.
Hmm. I'm gonna try casting suggestion. I'm gonna try to say, uh, you you should probably just like the door's open. You're free to go, man. You can just go and live your life and be free.
Okay, that is a wisdom saving throw. The sort of dripping from its nostrils, this chemical smoke that has recently been pouring out of his nose just sort of stops, and he stares at you and stares at the door, says something in Draconic, He did not pass. Just to be clear, he failed. Unless anyone is going to stop him, what he will do is he sinks back into this giant box. He sort of nestles down, pulls the lid closed. There is a faint popping sound, and Hemlock, when you peek into the box, he is gone.
Oh, that explains that.
I'm sorry. I love that so much. Dude, man, you're totally free. Like, we don't have any beef with you. Anything you want to do, you can do it. Great. I'm going right back in my box.
Okay, well, we figured out what was in that box.
Yes, if you do not mind, I am going to start looking around. I know she did not say so initially. Initially, she said Harold had gone to see her sister, but then when we were fighting, she seemed to indicate that Harold was still here and that she was going to continue feasting on him. So I am anxious to see if we can find him or a clue to his whereabouts.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And not to like take away from that at all, but in addition to, I think my foot might be around here somewhere.
Your foot! Oh my goodness, let's open this door.
Arlen will try to open the door.
I think my foot might be around.
Yeah.
Fucking adorable.
The door is in fact locked. Just
What's the door made out of?
probably painted wood.
Okay, I'm going to light it on fire.
Okay,
Our thief is not here right now. Arlen,
I'm gonna-
back up.
I'm gonna back you up here for a second. You all are in the carved out remains of a tree.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I've got control flames. We can control it.
I think thaumaturgy
Okay.
also let me extinguish flames.
I'm going to
Yeah,
try
I
and
mean-
shoulder this door open.
This burning.
These are all fair things. You light the door on fire, Banner. You are still welcome to crash into it.
Absolutely.
It's weakened a little bit by the fire,
I just need an athletics check.
Okay.
Banner.
Oof. Awful.
With the door being weakened by the magically controlled flames, it does sort of God, that's what I keep saying. It does burst open. The hinges, the hinge side of the door just sort of, you burst through the door. I'm just gonna
Oh,
Love it.
Ted.
I've been
Love
trying to stop saying the sort of thing, and it's now I noticed it, and I'm catching myself. Regardless, you find yourself in a very large, actually very well lit room, unlike the rest of the place that you have been in so far.
I will be sure to control flame enough to extinguish all of the flames.
That is very,
Just so that we don't burn the place down.
very wise of you, Arlen. Could you right here on my elbow, please?
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Thank you.
In this room, this room is a large cluttered workshop that is lit fairly well by a number of lanterns that have been uh, set around on various work tables. Each of the tables is cluttered with all kinds of pieces of toys, whether that be um, the heads of rocking horses or wooden wooden uh, wooden play sets like there are some that are chest pieces that are in various stages of being carved. There are balls that have been carved but have not yet been painted. None of the pieces that you see look what you would think would be appealing to children. The heads of the dolls are all carved and painted into almost contorted into like a leering grin, these big toothy sort of creepy smiles. The heads of the hobby horses, the eyes of the horses are wide with terror and their teeth are showing, and every bit of toy here is like this. There are a number of, for instance, soft stuffed animal parts, but the animals that they are clearly making are things that are kind of out of the norm. Instead of having stuffed puppies or stuffed bears or stuffed cats, you have things like stuffed porcupines with real quills. You have stuffed my lights keep going. You have you have some some stuffed goats with real like beard hair on them that is coarse, and they have their teeth or their lips pulled back like they are sort of snarling. Present in the room, there are a handful of small children. One, a male drow up on a table, has a strange weirdly, he's holding a bar of soap in one hand and has been uh as you burst through, he stops what was clearly some sort of dance or retelling or something to the other two children uh who, the moment you break through the door, begin to cower behind the table. There is a small human girl, and there is an even smaller halfling child. The
I'm gonna.
moment you,
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
just gonna nudge Arlen forward.
What do you expect me to do?
I'm scary.
Hi. My name's Arlen. Has anyone seen a foot?
The drow boy who is standing on the table turns to face you all. He picks up what is clearly a piece of wood in the process of being carved into some sort of play sword, and the two other children hide behind him, and he just says, "Hi, who are you? What do you haven't seen a foot?" I mean,
Okay.
there's that one, but I don't think that's what you mean because it's for a stuffed lion.
Yeah, no, this would look like a rabbit's foot. Um, we are uh um friends. We mean no harm to anyone who's not one of the three hags that are here, but there's only one left because this one is not here anymore.
Where'd she go?
We killed her.
all of their eyes just go wide.
She tried to kidnap us. She had us like stuck to chairs. And so yeah, we didn't want to get stuck to chairs. So
Okay. Wha-
look, we're here to help, and we
Yes.
can help get you back where you came from, you know, your families. We've got friends that can help.
Uh, wait, she's really dead? Did you get her keys? If you get her keys, we can go get the others.
Oh,
He
okay.
looks down
Yeah,
at the
I'll go.
soap in his hand.
I'll run back into the room and start searching the body. If there is a body.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
still there. It's only been a few moments.
Yeah.
Um, on Nightshade's body, she doesn't have a lot on her directly, but she is carrying a ring of 3 keys, 3 iron, um, 3 iron keys.
Great, I'll take that key ring.
You suspect that since she came through this door, that perhaps one of those keys might have unlocked this door.
It's fucking fantastic.
um, the boy looks down at the soap in his hand and holds it out. I was I I was I got a copy of the key. I was gonna make a well, I mean, I got an imprint of the key from Pincush, and uh, I was gonna. Oh my god, Pincush, you got okay. We got to go this way, and he hops off the table, takes each of the 2 smaller children by the hand, and they begin to run out the far. I'm gonna shift ping. The far door. They reach the door and immediately dead stop. And he slowly turns to look at you. Do you can you deal with the soldiers? You can command them, right? He's looking directly at you, Banner.
Well, I commanded many soldiers in my day. I can't imagine that this would be any different.
Yeah, they normally only take orders from Nightshade, but you look just like them.
Well, let's introduce me to my troops. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Now we are bloodied
Right.
and spent.
Yeah. It was a great idea.
Do we want to take a breather before we try that?
Nah, fuck it.
Okay, all right.
I mean, like Adam does, but Banner would absolutely be like, "Oh, troops! Like I know how to deal with troops. This will be fine."
Yeah, it feels weird to stop right now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw a 2nd level cure wounds on both of you and a 3rd level on myself. I'm very hurt.
Yeah, nobody's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not an easy fight.
So that's for Banner.
Oh, awesome.
I'm still sitting pretty with some good temp HP, but I have no spell slots left.
Yeah. For Hemlock,
Focus yourself. Keep your slots. I'll be okay.
it's too late.
Which one?
You get 11.
Okay.
Banner got 19, and I've got 26. So that puts me to full. All right. I've still got like half my spell slots.
Okay.
So good.
As you are heading down to this end, as this child is leading you down to the door, you begin to notice, especially you, Arlen, that as you have been here in the workshop speaking to Null, there have been very small but very strange changes. Some of the the toys, like the dolls that were not sitting, that were laying face down under construction, have sat up and are facing you. There is a lion, a stuffed lion, in one of the windows that was facing out, but is now facing you all with real needles for teeth, and you can't be positive without really getting close, but that's probably real blood given the way that this place is going. Um, you are the only one to spot them, Arlen. There are a number of little tiny dark little pop up the handout here. There are a
These
trio
fuckers.
of these little guys. When you're not looking somewhere, they will kind of run over. They manipulate the toys and then they run away. They never stay too long in one place, and they're not trying to. They never come near you. They are trying their best to stay away from you, but they are definitely poltergeisting the room, so to speak. Um, as as Null, the drow boy, reaches the door, um, and he just sort of he just points at it. The soldiers are through there. Um,
Say, did those little creepy guys give you any trouble?
the boggles. Oh, I mean, they're they don't hurt us, but they they like to be scary and and try to startle us. Sometimes they scare Philomena here, and he points at the tiny halfling child. They scare them a lot. Uh, night Nightshade, she liked it when they scared us. You see the halfling child Philomena sort of pull on Null's the tail of Null's shirt, and he leans down a little bit, and she whispers something. Oh, also, Philomena says you have to rescue Oink.
Done. Will do. Who's Oink? Where are they? What's keeping them?
Oink is her pig. It's your favorite pig. He's out in the.
Okay,
He's out
how
in the.
will we know Oink from any of the other pigs?
He's the littlest pig.
Fantastic. Okay, we will go and deal with the army, and then Oink is next on the list. We've got another team that's working already wherever the rest of the kids are. So we should get you all to them quickly.
Oh, okay. The 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 not barracks. The bedroom is upstairs. Uh, some of the other kids should be up there. Um, some some will be up in the sewing room with pincushion. And he practically spits on the ground when he says that. I don't like him. We could go outside if you wanted to. I mean, if you want to get Oink first, we can go outside if you want. And he points towards the door, which leads towards the garden area. We can get up that way, or we can go here if you want to. The army is here.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think?
Grab the piglet and give it to the girl, and then
All right, sounds like a plan.
I still have this beetle. And the skeletal mage hand doesn't really unclench, but just kind of lifts the beetle up into view.
I mean, do we want to just squish it?
Could try. I suppose yes, we could try that. And I'll just clench my fist and try to crush the beetle.
You squish the beetle. There is a very faint at the. I don't know how close do you have the beetle to you when you are squishing it.
It's probably floating like a foot away from me.
Okay. When you squish the beetle, anyone who is reasonably close to it can hear, similar to or evocative to the wishbone that you encountered in Bavlorna's place. There is a very faint whispered sound of um of the voice of Scabatha, uh, whispering out the phrase, "Endolin fears the eclipse. He will only die during an eclipse." Uh, those of you who would like to may make Arcana checks, having encountered two of these now.
Nice.
Real weird stuff. Real weird stuff.
I think. I mean, it definitely still sounds like it's the weird thing, like you said, like the wishbone, and
I've got an inspiration that I will give to you, Hemlock.
oh, thank you.
I'd really sort of like to know what's going on here.
Hey, our luck continues.
Yeah. Yeah. Having encountered a few of these now, the it is vaguely reminiscent of a spell designed to conceal some sort of information. The you would guess, and you have certainly read about some of the Thayan wizards doing this. By binding these secrets to an object, they make them unspeakable. And so, with the destruction, or in the case of the wishbone, the reparation of the object, by changing the state of the item entrusted with the secret is released. Um,
Okay.
for a coven of hags, which you are dealing with, that's a pretty good way to make sure you're not going to actually outright betray each other, because you risk your own secret being released.
Okay. So it's just like an exchange of these secrets so that they all have something over one another.
Exactly. It's sort of
Okay.
a mutually assured destruction situation.
Gotcha. Okay. And I have that phrase down. Endolin only fears the eclipse. She would only die during the eclipse. All right. We can check out the garden now.